Hi there. This is where words ignite worlds, where we highlight local change agents here in the city of Indianapolis and beyond. We're blessed to have Oreo Jones, Sean Smith here, an alumni of IUI, formerly IUPUI, Indianapolis. So, Sean, thank you for being here. We're very grateful to you. What do you remember about IUI?
Oh man, I just remember coming here every day and trying to figure out what I was doing, but it took some time and going to classes, especially with you and Christy Sheeler, Dr. Little, Michael Mason, who let us take over this when I did my cooking show in the Comtech lab here, and just learning about all kinds of things and trying to find community, within the walls. Yeah.
You've built a legacy in radio,
Yeah.
in music as a performing artist, and also organized the Chreece Festival, an annual hip hop festival.
Yeah.
What's an important lesson that you would offer the next generation of students?
I feel like just listening to your city and get involved with the community as much as you can. I think that was I think it's important to know when I first started, it took some time just to find like-minded individuals and creatives in the city and, paying cover to go to shows or interviewing people just to like get my chops, having communication and talking to folks and really just kind of studying and always being a student no matter what part of life you're in. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. Stay tuned for some more from Oreo Jones.
Mr. Jones, pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming for our interview.
Thanks for having me.
I have a couple of questions for you. Ready to answer them?
Yeah, got you.
So, first off, what inspired your name? Where did that come from?
Oh, that's a good question. I was actually working while I was here at school. I worked at Cheeseburger in Paradise, a restaurant on the south side at the time, and I was just kind of thinking of rap names and stuff and something that kind of revolved around pop culture. There's an actress, Dorothy Dandridge, that was in this movie, and I thought of different pop culture references, and Oreo Jones was like what popped in my head at the time. And there's also just kind of different theme stuff throughout my like writing and lyricism and stuff. So yeah, stuff from there. I was like 19 when I came up with it.
I know,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
Speaking of your music, so how intentional are you about weaving in social issues into your music?
I feel like it ebb and flows. I think when I write, it's a lot of my stuff is up through interpretation, and you kind of have to listen to it and really kind of go through a fine-tooth comb sonically with it. The project Blessed that I'm currently in, when we wrote This Time I'll Be of Use, it was during the pandemic in 2020, and I feel like we were essentially holding up a mirror to society and writing about that stuff and kind of what people were in the streets, fighting for and trying to, make sense of what was popping. So yeah, I feel like it ebb and flows, but I do think that your voice is strong and it matters, and yeah.
What does social impact mean to you, and why do you feel the need for it to be in your music?
Social impact, I feel like means a lot of things. It's something that I think is important, especially no matter where you're at, nationally or even in your backyard, in your community. I think it's important to be engaged with your city, especially if you're creating in it and collaborating and learning from people. I think is so important. And fighting for what you believe in is super important, and taking a stand for what's right is very, very important. Throughout the years and through the history of music, I feel like that's always been ingrained in the fabric of our society, and it's such a universal language, and it speaks to so many different, class, race, religion, and I think it's something that can touch a lot of different people. Yeah.
Okay, cool. In what way do you feel that your music influences conversations around race, culture, and identity?
Oh, that's a good question. I really, if anything, I think it's just telling a story about the city where I grew up in, and from like the native tongue to slang to storytelling about family and friends. I feel like that is something that I hold close to my identity, and race But if you listen to my music, it's not really all the time tied to political identity or different things like that. I think sometimes when I'm writing, I like to think of a way for folks to kind of unplug and not think about the harsh things that are happening. And sometimes I think it's important to shine light on serious issues and causes, but at the end of the day, you're going to interpret it and how you want to interpret it, yeah.
What do you hope that your listeners take away from your music after engaging in it?
Just like having an experience. I feel like when I perform live, and I think that's like my bread and butter. And I think at the end of the day, I want folks to know that I gave it my all when I did that. Also, just like sonically listening, that it's different, than most of the things that you kind of digest with media. Yeah.
Throw out the structure. We having a conversation. It's a dialogue, homeboy. So, I want to ask you, because you are the founder of Chreece, you are the leader of hip hop in this city. As somebody who, when you first came to my class, I took everything you said to heart. Talking about being in person, moving on the ground, and everything else. Doing this grind independently, from artist to artist, what does it mean to you?
Oh man, that's a good question, man. I feel like doing everything independent means a lot to me. When I was a kid, I came up in a scene where it was like a punk and hardcore DIY scene. So when we were in like high school, we were throwing shows by ourselves. We didn't really have like a lot of like parental guidance. We were just kind of failing and doing weird things by ourselves. So I feel like that's always been a part of my DNA. I'm also just like a lunatic when it comes to being obsessed over like what I do and the creative process and all of that. I think is like really integral into my identity. So I think being an artist, trying to navigate this labyrinth, I think it's important for you to just kind of try trial and error. Yeah, super important to me.
Absolutely.
Let's just jump into it.
Let's do it.
So, have you had any setbacks in your journey, and if so, how have you really pushed past those?
Oh my goodness, yeah, I've had a lot of setbacks. Yeah, I feel like, man, do you want to know every setback? No, I'm just kidding.
I'd love to.
Yeah, no. I feel like I've had plenty of them, and there's been times like I feel like I've mentioned before where I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing or what is going on, but I feel like there's always kind of something in the back of my head that was like, I'm gonna push through this, like being resilient. I think that's something that's important to do is to fail and learn. As kind of like corny or just like as that sounds, that's a real thing. I feel like that, trying to convince people to do a crazy festival in the middle of the city or try to convince people to listen to your music or playing to like 3 people in a venue in like Alabama or whatever. I feel like there's always been lessons learned, and I think that's something that it's important to kind of just like know whatever you're doing and how big it is or whatever the craziest idea is, there's gonna be some road bumps, but yeah, it's a part of life. Yeah.
And so, you were probably given a lot of opportunities to showcase your work and who you are. What opportunities were you given, and what opportunities do you think other people might have?
Oh man, yeah. I've been given some cool opportunities throughout the years, whether it be like talking on panels or just kind of sharing my ideas, being able to book a festival with a lot of venues and having like small businesses and the community really behind it. Going on trip. I remember when I was here at UND, or what is it? IUI? Yeah, there we go. I feel like I'm trying. It was IUPY when I was here, but I remember going to the '08 inauguration when Obama was just like in office, and like Jag Radio at the time, like going there and like interviewing people and taking photos and stuff was really sick. And man, I'm trying to think what else. I feel like going across the country, going all over, touring. I was a creative and renewal fellow for the Indie Arts Council and went to Nepal for like a sabbatical. I went to the Andy Warhol Foundation for the Arts, went to Madagascar and just shot photos and recorded audio and made like a sound piece and had an exhibition in Garfield Park at Listen Here Gallery that I managed. And yeah, I've done all kinds of
Got it all.
crazy things. Yeah.
And aside from music, what other pivotal Indianapolis figures have really shaped you and influenced you?
Oh man, yeah. I feel like Jim Walker and Shantae Mars really kind of helped me look at arts and just like the creative economy through a different light, and being an artist in residence there and like doing the radio station and curating a space, and showed me what it meant to how important space is for people, especially that are coming up. Chick McGee and from the Bob and Tom show, and Ace Cosby like giving me a shot to run boards for the radio station when I was doing stuff for WND and Q95 and X103. I think that was really important, getting to know radio and letting me, be a dweeb in there and just like learn and do all that and soak all that up. DJ Indiana Jones is a huge mentor just about the industry and helping me look at the other side of the coin. There's been so many people that have like really believed in me and gave me a shot to just like kind of do my thing.
Yeah. So your last question is, what are your top 3 songs right now?
Oh my goodness. You guys are killing me with these lists. I've been really listening to that Earl Sweatshirt record that just dropped. That Live, Laugh, Love is super fire. That Tourmaline song has been in my head. It's Blood Orange, the new Blood Orange, that Essex record. What else has I've been listening to? Also the Clips, that new Clips record has been super fire. And I've been listening to that 4200 Corey, that Cobra Sun record. It's a local artist. What else have I been listening to? Probably just like ambient music, just to like relieve some stress. Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, back again. Are you ready? I'm gonna go pretty easy. Let's do this one. Why do you create music?
I feel like it's like one of the few outlets I have to like express myself, and also I kind of use it as a form for therapy. It helps me, kind of meditate. It helps me kind of just think and get my feelings out a lot easier than it would be just having this conversation with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes it's easier for me to write my thoughts down and kind of express myself through music. I love playing tunes too, like playing instruments and doing that. I think is real cathartic, and it just kind of brings me joy. Yeah.
What from your music do you want your audience to apply to themselves? Like really hone in on, take in, and really apply to themselves?
I don't necessarily have like a message for people to like learn from, but I just want people to just like have an experience and just listen and kind of like it's opened up for interpretation. You know what I mean? They can dissect it how they want to, and I think that's the beauty of music. Like there's no really rules or any boundaries to it.
How far do you plan on pushing the envelope? Like how far do you want to test the waters when it comes to your career and the music that you put out?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm always just gonna try and give up my all, and whether I'm, dropping a record or going on tour or, creating a festival or creating spaces and curating spaces, I think I always want to kind of like challenge people to really think differently and think about music differently and think about their city differently and how these things really impact, not only the creative economy, but just the quality of life and having an outlet for people to go and explore and do things and learn about the city and kind of enjoy themselves, yeah.
And for the other local artists out there that is having kind of a struggle period, trying to get their message, trying to get their word out there, what advice do you have for them?
just keep on going. Yeah, just keep going and keep creating, keep failing. You know, go out to shows, learn, like link with people, collab with people. I really think that just getting to know your surroundings and your city, and trying to find your tribe is super important. So that's what community is all about, and that's what music is all about. Is just connecting. It's like a universal language, I think. So yeah, just keep on going. I know there's times too, I've been that artist where I didn't think anything was gonna shake out, but you know, just keep on going, and yeah, that's what I think.
You listen to the streets of Indianapolis.
Mhm.
Who do you hear, and what do you see?
Yeah, I mean, I hear the city. I mean, I think the beautiful thing about our scene and the hip hop community, I feel like there's so many different people all around, and there's different sides of town, west side, east side, south side. I feel like it's uniquely has their own story and their own kind of like style and different, you know, ways about it. So I think that's what I see. Yeah, it's just like a melting pot of different styles, you
Right.
know? Yeah.
Absolutely. And like with Chreece, and then taking place last week, and then we got Butter Festival and whatnot going on. How do you see Chreece lining up with organizations like Gang Gang or the other organizations here in the city, and what that means for hip hop overall in Indianapolis?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we're all stronger together, and I think that's what's so special about our city and organizations, that they're open to collaboration, and everyone kind of has like these like really amazing and brilliant ideas and different ways to showcase the story of Indianapolis and the rich history of black music, black visual art, story. Like it's amazing, and I think that's something that's really special about these organizations that kind of help and preserve that. And it looks different, and there's new people and new different ways about, you know, expressing one another, and I think it's important to, you know that we're stronger together. Yeah.
I seen you at a 317 day.
Okay,
At
cool.
416.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, for sure,
and
Nancy. Yeah.
I seen a lot of different artists there that day,
Mhm.
and I was like, oh man, this is like dope. And
Mhm.
despite it not getting like media coverage that I feel it deserves,
Mhm.
how important do you think those events are, and what do they say about the future of Indianapolis?
It's super important. Like Maxie and from Nap or Nothing, and Ladina from Midwest League, I think they're very important, and they are in the trenches, and they are on the streets. Like they are really documenting the city. And Maxie is a hometown hero. He's a legend. Like he deserves to have a statue in the city. Like this dude is impacted so many different people, and he's got a small business that is the fabric of our city. So yeah, 317 Day special event, so many different artists. You know, I think it's so sick seeing the evolution of the city and people just being unabashedly Naptown, because yeah, it's something to cheer about for sure.
Hi, Mr. Jones. Thanks for taking your time to be here. What has helped you most to really find your voice, would you say?
Help me find my voice. I feel like patience. I feel like and just relentless dedication. You know, I feel like a lot of the work and stuff that I do around here, it really involves collaborating with different people and learning about the city and being intentful. I think like it doesn't matter if you're a chef or you're a writer or a photographer, or it doesn't matter like what industry you're in. I feel like if you do it with intentions and love and really you know, lead with that, good things will happen eventually. It just kind of takes time. Yeah.
And as a comm student, what would you say your biggest takeaway has been in communications as a whole?
Oh, communication, I feel like it's saved my life for sure. Just with relationships and getting to know like the other fellow creatives in the city, to, you know, trying to explain why I should be in certain rooms, or, you know, learning about people, learning about the city, being really intentful. I feel like I'm still a student to this day, no matter how you want to dice it. Like I'm still learning, I'm still failing, and I think that's like something that's super important as I grow older, and yeah.
And so you've been in the music scene for a while. How would you say the music scene in Indianapolis, how has it evolved and grown to what it is?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, I feel like it was really kind of hard when you talk about like trying to find your voice. It was a really hard time trying to find that and find community and even find space or a platform. There wasn't really a lot of all ages venues here, and a lot of times you had to kind of wait till you were like 21 to even find community. But I feel like there's been a lot of people that's brought great change, and you know, we have a lot more spaces, art galleries, like you know, venues, all ages things, and technology and social media. I feel like has also ignited that too. Or there's just so many different people and so many different genres, not even hip hop, but like hardcore, punk, rock and roll, the DJ scene, like the club scene. Like there's so many different corners of the city, and I think there's something for everyone here, and I feel like it's stands up to anyone around the city, you know, if you really look down into it. And I think that's the beauty of Indianapolis. You really kind of have to look for things and discover it and think outside of the box, and I promise you'll find something that you'll enjoy. Yeah.
And the last question is,
Yeah.
How do you set yourself up to create music? Is there like a routine that you go through? What gets you
Yeah.
in that headspace?
That's a good question, because I feel like when I was a kid, when I was younger and I was going here, it was easy. I could just sit in my bedroom and lay on my bed and write music. But I feel like it's changed and evolved throughout the years. You know, at one point I had to like have a whole nother room and a whole nother studio to create and write in, and then there's a time now I had to like literally leave Indianapolis and go to like California, or go in some seclusion like Henry David Thoreau style and write. So yeah, I feel like it kind of ebb and flows, and it changes and it's evolved, but at the same day, I kind of have to separate myself from like kind of society, or like, you know, from kind of like a public space, and kind of go in like a retreat and, you know, yeah, write and find different melodies and different things like that. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, of course. Yeah.